Evening, everyone. I'm going to do a journey into a really difficult topic today. It's child trafficking and the organizations around that, the people around that. Some people call them the dark cabal as part of it, and all kinds of other twisted versions of humanity. And I think it's important that I do a journey into this and to heal it as best I can. But the reality is one person can't heal everything. So the people that watch this video, you need to also send love, healing to this idea, to this journey that I'm about to do. You don't have to actually go into the energy, but you need to send love and light into the energy. So the energy is amplified louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. The more people that are on board, the walls will start to crumble. It's one of those things that a lot of people are afraid to do, a lot of people want to do, but it's a necessity and needs to be done. A friend of mine requested me to do this, but I was thinking about it for a while. And so, as respect for this friend, with also the idea of doing this journey is something that is very important to me as well. I've done journeys into this energy before, and they have not been easy. The problem with any type of energy that's a global energy, that is a lot of things are movable parts. There's a lot of things going on. And it's not simply just one person. That's why it's so important that we really take the power within us seriously, because we can make a difference. The more of us that stand up, the more of us that look at this energy and heal this energy to heal the human race, the more powerful this healing becomes, and that's when things really start to change. So I'm going to go right into that journey, and I'm going to go right into the healing. And it's not Coriente, not for the faint of heart. And I don't want people to watch this video with fear. I want people to watch this video with encouragement, with love, with determination. Because with that is powerful. When we realize that we are ultimately the most powerful thing in the universe, and that we always give our stuff to other things, other people, like we are always giving stuff away. People are saying so many things that we give it away. We are way more powerful than we put ourselves out to be. These people that hide in the shadows, these people that think they're powerful because they allow demons to go inside themselves, have a really rude awakening. Been there. I've done so many things in past lives that I understand that stuff is foolish. So when you get these people that believe that demons inside themselves make them stronger, are very young souls that don't understand the consequences of their actions. They don't understand a lot of things. So they're the ones that are weak. They're the ones that they think they're powerful, but they're weak. They're not strong. It's kind of like the bully that does, beats on their kids over and over again, thinking he's strong, or the dad that beats up on their child. It doesn't make you strong, it makes you weak. The people that are beat on, that are the ones that are being beat on constantly and stand up and overcome that, are the strong ones. It's the opposite of what a lot of people think. Because this physical body is a very, 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 very narrow idea of what we really are is 1/trillionth of who we are. Understand the power that you have. The power of your soul outweighs the power of a human physical body 1,000,000,000,000 times. Enough said about this, and I don't want, because I could talk for hours about subjects, and I really want to go into the energy of this to heal it. I'm not sure what I'm going to expect. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not even sure what any of this will look like. But it must be done. The more of us do it, the stronger the healing becomes. It's just inevitable. It's how things work. But one person has to at least try to encourage others to do the same thing. And then it becomes contagious. Then it becomes louder. Yato makinda, ya so. Starts off quiet, becomes loud. Na kiento masantai kanti wasanti nikanta ya kuyenia. It's the way of things. This is like dripping in a cave. The sounds of dampness in the dark. I'm not quite sure where the sound's coming from, but you can hear it. And you kind of find yourself looking around in the dark to try to find that sound. Do you find the sound, or you just find more dripping? You turn a light on and you're looking around and you find that there's moisture dripping from the ceiling into a pool of water. And you slow down the droplet of water as it slowly goes down and then explodes onto the water, creating a ripple. This is the first sensation I feel when I go into this energy. It's like they don't want you to be able to find the drip. So when you find the drip, then what? You see something slowly falling, creating ripples. But there's something wrong about this. Something loud underneath the surface. It's banging, it's like bubbling. And the more you look at it, the more louder it becomes, to the point where it becomes like everyone's screaming around you, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a place of pure terror and screaming. And the real things within the silence, within the darkness, you see when you see it, when you study it, it becomes part of you. And it gets ridiculously loud and boils over. Then it becomes a subtle, silent dripping in the dark again. It reminds you of life. Should you just sit back and just listen to the sound of the droplets of water, or do you go into the energy of what is creating it? They want you just to focus on the dripping of the water and not going into energy around the water. The energy of the ripple, the energy of the stripping itself. You get closer and you see that the dripping is coming from a child hanging from a hook. The water droplets come down into a pan of blood. It's a different perspective, doesn't it? But is this what the dripping sound is? Or is it simply just water in a cave in the dark? You just ignore it. It's not a big deal. There's nothing here except dripping in the dark. There's loud sounds that come out all the time in behind the darkness, in behind the dripping of the water droplets. It's a sound of it. It's just like this. It's like a constant tearing in sound, but you don't hear it unless you focus. And when you focus on the sound, the darkness turns into like a hell space of screaming, of blood, of people hanging from hooks, dripping of blood into pans, people rejoicing in the blood, bathing in it, pouring it over their naked bodies, drinking it. This is what's truly here in this energy of this place. But they don't want you to see, they don't want you to look, they want you to just pretend that it doesn't exist. There's nothing going on here. It is simply a cave with dripping water. And the screams of the children, the screams of the women, the screams of the boys, it even goes into adults. It even goes into... It just gets really, really bad, really fast. But then they want you to, then they try to slam the door so you don't actually see what's happening. They don't want you to see the echoes of really what's going on. Why would you? Why would you want to see what's really going on? Why would the human race want to know the truth? Why would the human race want to know that there's children being murdered? There's nothing I can do about that. That's somewhere else. That's not happening here. That's not happening here. As the person speaks, they're in a house, beautiful place. Underneath the house, this big, huge home where everybody walks into it and it's like a place of wonder, a place of bewilderment, a place... party place, a place of happiness. But underneath, what is underneath the place? I see a house with many windows, modern, but there's something dark underneath it. There is people, many people underneath it. Kids, women, even men. But the men are feminine, they're very petite, they're skinny. They could have been bigger at one time, but they're specifically starved, meant to watch. They're watched. The men and the women have to watch as kids are tortured, raped, murdered, dissected. This terror that's in these adults. This is what I'm seeing. It's like, it feeds something dark, feeds something hungry. And the more hungry it gets, the more it wants. So the more torturing, the more it wants all the time. It wants more and more and more and more. Then all of a sudden you have all kinds of people that watch, that listen. Some enjoy it. Some come down here. It's pleasurable. But then there's some families. There's whole families that disappear in this place. And their parents are made to watch their children. Is this something that you believe is happening? Is this something you think is happening? This is happening. And it is happening in people's basements. Do you care? Does it really matter to you when you look at these things? What does it make you feel like? Are you disgusted? Are you horrified? What can I do about it? What am I supposed to do about it? This is what people say. What can you do about it? You don't even know what's going on. Nasayi no hike asa no. The ones that know. Hoaki kasanan diaso. Hakio somai diatan. When you watch to kushia mataniata, are you full of fear or are you full of pleasure? This is what the soul is wanting me to ask you. If you're horrified or you're fearful, nasanin nakahi is not helping anyone at all. Kasantoi tamaki. It just feeds the darkness that wants you to be afraid, that wants you to be horrified, that wants you to be extremely angry. It feeds. It is like a never-ending hunger. It feeds, it feeds, it feeds, and it sends energy out to the people that are doing it to make them believe they are like gods in this world, that they are better than everyone. But they are rats. They are nothing more than insects to this thing. This thing doesn't care about them. It uses them so it can get more feed, more hunger, to feed its bellies, to feed its young. Mokyosisatun. It hides in the shadows and whispers in her ears. Oyoyisna. The people that think they are in control, that they are the masters of this being, are foolish. Because this being wants them to think they are masters. Until it is time when their lights go out and it devours parts of their soul with gleeful agony and pain and suffering. And now the torture, the suffering and the pain and the fear is now within the people that were doing it to others. No one wins. Everyone suffers. And this thing just keeps feeding. More and more and more blood in the pits of its stomach. It wants more and more suffering, more and more hatred, more and more fear, more and more ego, more and more I am a god, I am better than everyone else. So kiyasamakan. Tugiya nakahisapo yindo. Find the power within your heart. Find the power within your soul as one. The power within your own soul to shine the lights in these basements and the dark places into the eyes of the people that are doing it so they can see what will happen to them when the light turns out and the shadows come for them. They think they are greater than all, but they will turn into darkness and shadow and be devoured by this thing that waits, smiles, understands that it's doing it. They don't even know. But in some cases, they believe it will make them stronger, more powerful, be like a god. So what will happen to a soul that tortures, maims, kills children? Nyomo kosiya namasai. I see a dark place. Hoisiya mokoshi that is lit up with red. I see thousands and thousands and thousands of bodies that are partly in the walls, partly in the floors. This is the soul's hell that they will go to. Parts of their souls are all over the place. Their wounds opened. Yatain, the air is sulfur. Sakain, burning. Dain, every parts of their body, so everything screams. Nahanto bakanto. Everything screams aloud. Everything screams constantly. It is constant agony and pain. No huyatiasan. Then you see the soul of the person whole, not in pieces, sees all the parts of itself, ripped apart all over the place, and understands that every single time they come whole, they will be torn to shreds. And a piece, all these pieces will be scattered throughout this place, and it will be added, and it will grow, and it'll grow, and it'll grow, and the suffering of the person will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Never ending. Unless at some point someone will come to heal this person, take their soul out of this place. But who will ever come to a person that has murdered and raped children? Tasani anamukosi. Santiko. So are you a god? This life is like just a very, very quick flash of time and space. It's very short, very fast. So you think you are God for a blink of an eye and spend millions of years suffering for simply just have like literally like somebody snaps their fingers. So would you want to have millions of years of agony for simply one flash of being a God on earth in your own mind? Is it worth it? There's laughter everywhere. And people saying that will never happen to me. I am better than everyone else. I am stronger than the demons inside myself. I am the master here. Until the light goes out and their souls are dragged into the darkest pits of hell. Hell that they have created for themselves to learn to someday be freed by their own selves. But all that suffering for a young soul just to learn how to be a wise soul. How many times do they have to suffer? How many times do they go through agony to learn? When they could simply just make the right choice. So kohi. See the demons for what they really are. Shine light into the darkest places and watch the cockroaches run. Toya kanti so korina. The fire of burning light, no gisa, that reaches the darkest places within ourselves, within the earth. Can you shine these lights within yourself? Nasa kuyanda, and face what you see. Nasa konyanoko. These lights are shining in all these dark pits. Nakina. I look at all the children, all the women, all the men, all the parents, all the souls that have ever been hurt by these cowards that live in the dark, that live in the shadows. Tosiana Pakina. I shine the light within every one of these souls and watch their lights turn brighter than the brightest suns 1,000 times over. Every single one of them bursts into the brightest flames, and all these souls that thought they were the masters now become the cockroaches that are scurrying to get away from the light that is burning their eyes, burning their flesh, burning every part of their body. Nokiamon Niasakis. The light gets so strong. Oyana Hiesakan. Oyana Mokuyan Tiese. Nakanahun Tiaman. Tasiata Nokist. Oya Tiapahi. Anaso Hianokanai. Dasahuyanan. Dasahuyane. Tasahuyatoko. Tasahindia Makan. There are some that stand in the light. Tokieta. They have armor that they believe is impenetrable. Tasamukiento. They cannot be touched. Tasiatia. Hanahosoi. There's politicians here. Ahianeman. Very wealthy people. Soakia-san. No matter who you are, the light will go out. Nasani nakuitiata do sani. Are you ready to see what awaits you all? Okohinto mayandi. You have no idea. Every child you touch, every woman you rape, every child you peel the skin off to take the organs, the suffering will come at you 1,000 folds. Nasandiko. That is the way of things. Kosinapa. The sacred hearts of children are sacred. The innocent, Hosito, may not be able to fend for themselves, but the souls of the light and the darkness all stand up for them, and the suffering that you will hold within your heart for thousands and millions of years will rot, tear you apart repeatedly till you have learned a lesson. Till you have learned your lesson. Tasaki na po. Nasani no ki. That there are some things off limits. Dakayente. And the demons of the gods of the shadows, Nasakyui, are nothing more than scattered cockroaches scurrying away from the light. Nasani. And you worshipped a cockroach. Tahahiente. Pasoyene. Takiana. Da sote. When Huyentiamakan will the human race understand the power of light and love within their hearts, the power of working together, no kuhiente, the power of love, tasanoyentemo, the power of a child's soul. I saw you. All the souls of all the ones that have ever died. The souls will glow so bright. Into the places where they fell. May the light explode like a supernova in every single dark place that every soul has fallen. Bring into light everything, everyone. Nasoy yuaknianatio hasanahika posoynian nasakori soai no kuanianasan I look upon the souls of the fallen, that are so bright and beautiful, shining brighter than the Yenangoyedion, looking upward, going back into the light. Going into the light. The doorways of heaven opening up into the darkest places. The arms of heavens opening up, inviting them all back home, creating a light into the darkest places so bright that nothing can hide. The reflections of themselves staring back at them for everything they have ever done, and they will judge themselves. And that judgment will be harsh. Because the innocent souls of a child, the torture of a child, son, takes many, many, many lifetimes to be forgiven within one's own heart. Hokoi Sanayan. But nothing is forever. Tori. And that someday the lights of your own soul that have learned, that have grown, will come for you. Namakoi Nasanoi. Thank you for that. Not everything is so easily spoken, so easily understood. It is difficult to see and describe everything that happens. To forgive, to heal even the most horrific parts of ourselves. Because we are all connected. We are all one. But we're also separate. We are also have free will, free choice. There is something about a child's light that if you choose to snuff it out, you will have to live with that choice, to heal from that choice. Your own soul will judge you very, very hard. Because we think that we're simply just one parts of ourselves. We have many parts, and some of those parts are really high. Even the most twisted person on earth has soul, parts of a soul that are angelic, parts of a soul that are demonic. And when our demons come for us, the more horrific things that we do, the more darker demons from ourselves will come for us. So if you're watching and you're one of those people, I hope that you're prepared. You're not going to get a whole lot of sympathy from me or a lot of other people. You will have to learn to forgive yourselves. Maybe someday somebody like me or part of yourself will be able to release you from the bounds of them dark pits that you put yourselves into for the greater good of everyone. Tassa Namo Kini. Thank you very much. And you can visit my website at awakening.com. I have a Northern Lights page at josephbradleyroars.com as well. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'm sorry if this got a little bit too... It could have been much worse. I could have went into the darker energies that wouldn't have done anybody any good. With the souls that we free today and into the future, every time somebody watches this video and says love and light into those souls that have been tortured, the children that have been tortured, the women, I don't know if people realize how horrific some of these scenes were. I never really went into them too deeply because the echo has become really loud. I see and feel everything. It's a blessing and a curse. No, I believe it's more of a blessing. I don't believe in curses. Thank you very much, everyone.